Okay, well,
Jill, you're looking very smart.
there you go. He's dressed up for the occasion. I'm impressed.
Thank you, thank you. I do have those abilities.
Very good, very good. All right. Well, a very warm welcome to everybody here on Zoom and on Facebook Live. As Trevor mentioned, if you're joining us on Facebook Live, we'd love you to share and comment on the Facebook Live post. If you're with us on the Zoom session, you're welcome to pop your chat comments into the chat box, and we'll engage with you on that basis. But Wisdom goes global today. Wisdom's first global summit. We're really looking forward to an exciting day. 8 sessions during the course of the day from now on through until 5 o'clock this evening. We're going to have some fantastic speakers, some fantastic content, and we hope to engage with all of you at whatever level you can connect with us on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's on Zoom, doesn't really matter. We just love to have you on board. So with that said, I'm going to hand over to the CEO of Wisdom's Global, Lee Harrison, to introduce the first session and take us away for the day. So Lee, over to you.
Well, welcome everyone. It's really good to see you. I know it's a small group here, but many will be joining us on Facebook Live and as the day goes on. And the wonderful thing about new times, new circumstances, is that you are given the opportunity to do things that you never thought you would do, to reinvent yourself, to explore and to learn and to grow. And that's what we're doing here at Wisdom's, is Ivan actually said it in one of our sessions. We have a Wisdom's chat session every morning at 8 o'clock, and it just invites people just to share thoughts and ideas and stories. Excuse the hardy-dars in the background. Edward, I'm not sure if you know what hardy-dars are, but they make that terrible sound that you can hear. Of course you do. Ivan said, somebody said, well, are you ready for Friday? And he said, the way that we work at Wisdom's is, I'm going to get it wrong, fire, aim, ready. and that's really one of the things that, so it's just about stepping out, saying, we're going to do this. And it started with when lockdown happened here in South Africa, is we said, okay, everybody's now in their homes. And what do we do? What do we do as Wisdoms? We planned a boot camp, which is a face-to-face, intense engagement at a conference center. We planned a couple of other half-day workshop type things. I had work set up at various corporates, and now that's all disappeared. And so we said, well, you know, people are going to be down in the dumps. People aren't going to be feeling good. What can we do to keep spirits up, to keep conversations going? And so we started Wisdom's Chats, and we decided on the Thursday. We decided on the Wednesday. We gave it a pilot shot on the Thursday, and we launched it on Friday, and it has carried on since then. And in fact, we were very ambitious for the first 40 days of lockdown, which was what we called stage 5 here in South Africa. We ran Wisdom Chats every single day, including Saturdays, Sundays, public holidays. And that was 8 o'clock in the morning. And it's just for 30, 40 minutes. And we just launched it saying, well, let's start a conversation. And it just grew and built from there. So one conversation leads to the next, always with the idea of people bring their thoughts, their ideas, their stories. And so that's how we've, Edward's come on board, and Mpumelelo and Master. And so we've built this incredible community, and it keeps growing. And then we said, well, you know, we're starting to gel with this. We're starting to connect with this idea that is core to who Wisdom's is, and that is that you have a unique story to tell. And your unique story will trigger somebody else's thinking, somebody else will inspire somebody, and that it's as simple as getting people together around a particular topic, having a conversation, sparking ideas, and making a difference. And so what today is about is simply taking that next step. And again, we just said, you know what, we're doing Wisdom's Chats. What's next? What's next? That was the question that we were asking ourselves, what's next? And the next was, well, we're doing it for half an hour on a daily basis. Now we give ourselves weekends. We're actually kinder to ourselves these days. And let's you know, we've met also, what's amazing to me, I'm just going to add another piece to the puzzle, is that I have been pretty much staying at home, even though lockdown has sort of been eased in various ways. I work from home, and I have been sitting here more or less at my home desk for the last 4 months. And I've met more people from around the world than I ever would have done in my car, driving from place to place, as I had been in my hectic life before lockdown. And these people have come from all over, even the UK, even New Zealand and Australia and Bali, of all places. And so these have been incredible connections saying the world is actually opening. And this is, there's so much doom and gloom. And for us to flip it, to turn it around and say, it's a world of opportunities. And the opportunity is available in the world. And so here we are, beginning this, beginning again. I think it's always, there's a new beginning, a new start, a fresh look and take. And that's what's fascinating about wisdoms, because of course wisdoms, the whole point about wisdom is it's ageless, it's ancient, it's a truth that remains constant in many ways. It's a truth that has been sieved and managed and pulled through people's experiences to the point that we say, this, I believe this, I trust this, I know this because I know it to be true for me. And so as constant and as precious and as honed as wisdom is, it's also fresh and new and different, and we keep experimenting and trying and working in new ways. Zoom is one of those ways. The world is creating new opportunities. We're meeting fascinating people as we go about this, you know, fire aim ready. And so ready or not, here we are. And so that's just by way of giving you some background to say, this is how this day came about. We've invited some amazing speakers that we've met. Some we know well, some we don't know so well, but we know that they have a wisdom of their own that comes from experience, expertise. They have life experience, business experience, and they're going to be sharing that with us. But it's not so much, you know, wisdom is not so much about information. If we could change lives through information, Google would already have done that job. But it's not information that changes our lives. It's how that information, how knowledge is integrated through our own thinking. And so it's about providing the resources, the platform to say, okay, let's get a group of really clever, brilliant, amazing, wonderful people who all have amazing, unique stories. And in that mix, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what we're cooking, but we completely believe and trust that something amazing will be created out of it. Something for you as a person and something for us as a group. And And so we've got these speakers every hour on the hour, starting 10 o'clock. We're going to be listening, sharing, having conversations. So this is, again, I say by introduction. Unfortunately, Ivan, you gave me the mic. I've taken full opportunity to talk as long as I have, but I'd really like to hear from everybody else. What is it that you wanting out of today? What is your thinking about this idea of fire, aim, ready, and launching into new things, not even knowing what you're creating, but trusting that it will be amazing? So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Great, fantastically. Thanks so much. And yeah, what a way to launch Wisdoms globally, with our CEO grabbing hold of the mic and just telling you that you're all amazing, wonderful, intelligent people, and that's why you're here today. So, you know, that's why we've got you all on board, because you really want to dig into everybody's wisdom and see how we can share and grow and learn to think better amongst ourselves. So, Trevor, let's pop across to you first. I think just as the other partner in Wisdoms, yeah, set the tone for the morning.
Yeah, so thank you very much. My excitement about this is what Lee hasn't actually mentioned, and that is that Lee is perhaps the leading facilitator, let's call her, because of her humility, one of the leading corporate facilitators in South Africa, and for that matter, throughout Africa. And what excites me about this is that from the beginning of the year, Lee turned around and said, you know what, we need to start thinking a lot bigger than just South Africa. Lee began, I think in December, rewriting all of our Wisdom's corporate information to make it user-friendly, to achieve a comment that we were actually sharing between ourselves at our various meetings, that we'd like to actually get our information into the hands of 1 million people at $1 a month. Now, bear in mind that our information at corporate level is priced probably retail selling point, total information of Wisdoms, between $3,000 to $5,000. But our byline is that we have information that is ageless, priceless, timeless. And it's the priceless tag behind Wisdoms that makes it very difficult to actually get out into the hands of everyone that is now really within our touch. Through Zoom and through the COVID experience. And Lee was preparing for this in December, January. And I don't know if there was some prescience behind this, Lee, whether you knew what was coming or not, whether you had an engagement in Wuhan that actually got shut down, that gave you some insight to the fact that I think it was around the 23rd of March, where we were all locked down and the world was locked down, that all of a sudden people didn't know what they were doing. And yet we were on this path of getting our information out, for starters, to 1 million people at $1 a month. And what has happened in the 120 days of lockdown has been nothing short of amazing. From what you mentioned, the Wisdom's chats, teaching me how to work with Zoom. I didn't know how to work with it. Then Wisdom's underpinning the Four Ways Community Chamber, as we've done in the launch of that chamber. And I mean, it is the most proactive chamber in Africa, with bar none. Then launching the virtual trade fair event to be the most successful event we've ever seen here in this country, to having people in the UK, US, Dubai, China, Africa, coming back to us and saying, man, we want to participate in this virtual trade fair event, to turning around and saying, okay, well, let's put out our own global summit. So what Lee has done here for us is allowed us to bridge this corporate information where corporates with all of their cash were purchasing into our program and putting that same information into the hands of folks like ourselves on a worldwide scale. But what really excites me is that at the back of my mind and also Ivan's mind, I mean, we've been talking about this. We love to be, and this is a vision of Wisdom's, to work with passionate people who want to make a positive difference in society. Now we have the opportunity to do it. And this window of opportunity is going to be open for a little while. And I think that little while might be 3 months, it might be 6 months, it might be 9 months. But this is our opportunity to bring all of these passionate people together who want to make a positive difference in society and do something meaningful. Do we have the answers? Not at all. Do we have we set out a plan? Well, Lee gave it away. We haven't got a clue what's going to happen today. So all we do know is the quality of minds that have been attracted to us and vice versa. And when we tap into resources where we don't seek to influence other people, but we give people the information that is available to all of us to allow them to think, you find quality people actually come out of this and they start sharing what excites them about life, and they start interesting you in a direction. But there's no pushing people into a direction here. It's about giving people the resources to think. And I think by the end of today, you're going to see just how exciting this is. And maybe we'll hit 10 million people. But that's just, you know, I don't think too small. I'm excited about this, Lee. Well done.
Thanks, Trevor. And for those of you who hadn't joined us right at the start of the session, Lee was saying to Trevor, you know, every time we talk these numbers, he adds another zero and adds another zero. He's just done it again. So, you know, at least there's a one in front of all those zeros. And then, you know, we've got something to aim for, Trevor. Thanks for that one. So, yeah, I think what I'd like to do is perhaps just pop around the group and just say hi to everyone who's on board, and maybe a brief introduction and your thoughts on what's been said so far in the session. So let's start with Ed. Ed, yeah, over to you.
Yeah, I was fascinated by what Lee said about the fact that she's met more people on Zoom than when she was zooming around in her car, because at the beginning of 2019, I gave up using a car for environmental reasons, and I've met loads of people on public transport. I met loads of people on the train, on the bus, really interesting people. And then I love South Africa. I come to South Africa every year. I've been coming every year since 1999. And it's my way of being enthused, because I find South Africans very positive, very sort of lively people with a can-do attitude. And I was missing the thought that I won't be coming to South Africa this year because I can't travel there because of the COVID thing. And then Lee popped up on a networking event that I went to in my county of Cornwall, which is the very far southwest of England. And she said, oh, we have these little wisdom talks on a morning. Do you want to pop in? And 8 o'clock, of course, which is 7 o'clock UK time. And it's been the best way to start my day, because it's, as you say, it's just a conversation around various bits and pieces. And I think it's people coming with different experiences, different levels of knowledge, different backgrounds. And it's been a really good way just to start the day off, to kickstart the mind, start thinking about various things, whether that's, and interesting this morning, the discussion was around, some people have really big sort of ambitions, big goals, and other people work at that tiny level. And I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because if you do have a massive, big goal, the only way to achieve it is through tiny steps. So I think you have to have that sort of almost like Jekyll and Hyde character. You've got to think big, but actually act small. And we were talking about teamwork this morning, and this is an example of teamwork because we've got everyone coming together to pool their resources, to pool their ideas. And yeah, I just love the fact that I'm able to come to South Africa virtually when I can't come there physically. Trouble is, your weather's a lot better than it is in the UK because even your winter is better than our summer. So I'm missing the sunshine.
Right, fantastic. Thanks, Ed. And for those of you who don't know, Ed is the trail running man. And so he knows about putting one foot in front of the other and taking those small steps as well as the big ones. And we've really enjoyed having him from Cornwall on our Wisdoms Chats in the morning. It's been gaining some fantastic insights from a man with huge experience and knowledge. And yeah, so look out for Ed and the trail running man. He's a very interesting fellow. Books to come out soon, I believe, Ed. So we're looking forward to those and really looking forward to reading that. So Mpulela, let's come across to you next. One of our speakers today as well. So Mpulela, so don't give everything away, but yeah, a quick introduction and just your thoughts on how things are starting to unfold here.
Good morning to everyone. It's great to see all kinds of people. Some I've met already, some I have not. I guess it's the wonder of Zoom and the whole online connection and connectivity and so forth. My name is Mpumelelo. I always say to people, it's the best name a mother can give to a child. To those who don't know, it's a Zulu name. Translated into English, it means success. That's why I enjoy it so much. I think every time a person calls my name, they're speaking what is to become of me. So that's why I enjoy it that much. Look, for me, Wisdoms has been a great platform, and I think this will add onto that. Where it's become great is that it's added certain ambitions or spurred me on to do certain things that I've had at the back of my mind, but interacting and connecting with everyone in the morning sort of brings them to the fore of the mind and also encourages you to move forward. One of those things has been a starting of a writing of a book that happened because of the morning conversations through Wisdoms. And some of the other small things that come up, you get to hear people's different experiences and they add to your knowledge of what works and what doesn't work in business. And that for me has been great. But moreover, it's also been an introspection time of myself. There are certain things that Wisdom has made me look internally and look at myself and say, what kind of a person are you? And in doing business, how are you supposed to shape yourself so that you can reach the goals that you've put in place? I mean, interacting with people like Trevor, it makes your morning, you start laughing in the morning. And that's a great way to add to a positive spirit. You speak to a Lee, you find out how much she is doing in a day and you're thinking, my goodness, I'm sure I can do more as well. You speak to an Ivan and he's so calm. You get a sense that you can do it in the world and don't need to be and can still remain humble. So that's how Wisdom has in different ways sort of contributed to what one is becoming. And it's interesting that this is all happening virtually. And I look forward to this day, and I am grateful in some ways to this platform. And again, good morning to everyone I have seen and those I haven't seen before.
Great, thanks, Mpulela. And it's great to have you on board because we've had some great insights and thoughts from yourself as well. And I'm glad you identified Trevor as the comedian in the group because that's his key role. And we love to have a good giggle now and again. And as I said in our Wisdom's chats earlier this morning, you know, we are incredibly serious about not taking ourselves too seriously. So and you've got to keep an eye on that all the time. So yeah, Ben, let's come across to you next. So welcome. Thanks for joining us again from the UK as well. So another UK attendee and a speaker for us during the course of the day. So also don't give away too much, but yeah, great to have you on board.
Thanks, Ivan. It's great to be here. And what a lineup. Look at this. Look at all these people. It's phenomenal. I'm so excited about what today is going to bring. As Ivan said, I'm over in the UK, right up at the north of England, in Newcastle. So it's kind of dull and overcast here if I look out the window. But I'm really looking forward to today. And I just love the concept of, get this the right way around, fire, aim, ready. Is that right? Got that right way around? Yeah. Just, actually, the way you guys have just gone about, well, let's just try something. Let's do something. Let's see what happens. Let's bring people together and see the magic. And it's so nice to see that. And I think, without giving too much away, one of the things I'm going to kind of chat through is that concept of how this ability, this forced stop that we have had globally has enabled people to kind of think through and try some things that otherwise they wouldn't. So yeah, I'm so excited to hear kind of some of the stories that are going to come out today. It's going to be really good. And I just love that concept of, well, let's just do it. Let's just get on with it. See what happens. What's the worst that could happen? So exciting.
Fantastic. Thanks, Ben. Yeah, and we're excited too. It's energizing doing. I think if you sit back and you wait, your energy just drains away. You've got to actually just get up and go and make things happen. So let's pop across to Stella next. So Stella's also one of our regulars on our Wisdom's chats in the morning. So Stella, yeah, your thoughts on what you've heard so far and anticipations for the day, perhaps going forward.
Good morning, everybody. Wow, what a privilege to be here this morning. Thank you, Lee, everyone that made this possible yet again. I was also part of the virtual trade fair, and as at that time, there were so many brilliant speakers, and I wanted to only see a few, and then I ended up just about being there all 4 days. So today is one of those days again. So I've cleared my diary just to be here today, and I'm so excited to learn from all the other brilliant speakers and guys that I've met now through the Wisdom's chats in the mornings, especially Mpumelelo. Yeah, I'm looking forward to you and all the other speakers. And thanks again, guys, for making this opportunity available to so many people that otherwise wouldn't have had this opportunity. So thanks again. Looking forward to the day.
Super. Thanks, Stella. Right, Caroline, new to us, but not to Lee. So welcome, Caroline. Yeah, maybe just a quick intro and yeah, your thoughts on what you've heard so far, and does it fit in with your expectations, perhaps?
So I must admit, I didn't really have many expectations because you didn't really say what the day was going to be about or what any of the speakers were talking about. Yeah, but I must say one of the main reasons that I came on, decided to join in because of Lee. I know she is a fantastic facilitator and has a lot of wisdom. So yeah, I was curious, I guess. But that said, I'm probably different from all of you. I'm a software developer, so a nerd, kind of. And I actually am not going to be listening all day. I prefer to do the thing where I could listen in my own time because I actually do have work to do. So yeah, and your PayPal link, by the way, didn't work. Yeah, but anyway, so the one I did join in, I don't know if it was something else Lee had, I don't know if it was under the Wisdoms thing where there were some talks on business and sales, and I found some of those talks very interesting. And what I've enjoyed with this lockdown is being able to listen to webinars on various topics. I usually do it in the evening though, and it's really been nice to have access to different people that you wouldn't normally have access to.
Super, thanks, Caroline. Yeah, and I think, well, you might be surprised, I'm also a software developer, but so yeah, this is not my full-time job, believe it or not. But anyway, that's that aside. Thanks for the input, and yeah, we'll certainly look into the PayPal links. I know 1 or 2 people have already successfully used it, so a bit of concern there, but nothing serious. We'll follow up and make sure that one works for you. So great. Let's get across to Australia next, I think. Yeah. So Doyle, welcome. Great to see you this morning. Thanks for being on board, and looking forward to your chat as well. But maybe just a quick intro and your thoughts on what you've heard so far.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Ivan. Yeah, really appreciate the invite, and excited to be talking later today. So yeah, I just want to get an understanding of, where we are right now, and it's actually on the front of all of our minds. And I've sort of built over the days and months a process, a strategy that kind of I've found that can really help businesses align what they need to do, kind of to take that next step, so that they've got some confidence. And I liken it to what I call an expedition. So we need to sort of look at, how do we actually prepare? If we're going up Mount Everest, guess what? You're not going to go up tomorrow. It takes some time to prepare. So you've got some time right now. So it's time to prepare, your business to kind of move forward past all this stuff. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. So really appreciate again the invite, and thank you so much as well. Looking forward to it.
Great, thanks, Doyle. And yeah, we really appreciate you coming on board all the way from Australia. I know it was a long flight, but great to have you on board. And isn't it fantastic that these platforms can enable these kinds of engagements across the world? So really appreciate that. So Master, let's get across to you. Also recently joined us in the Wisdoms Chats sessions in the mornings, and also already given us some great input and great insights there as well. So great to have you on board here today. So welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Ivan. And yeah, I never thought wisdom has got a plural, which is wisdoms, meaning it might be a collective of wisdom from different people. Yeah, but then I just want to say thank you to Stella, who introduced me to the group. A very fantastic decision that she just thought I belong here. So I thank her for that, and I don't regret every little minute that I've been part of this particular platform. And thanks to Lee and yeah, Trevor, your humor keeps me going. Yesterday I laughed my lungs out, and it's one of the things that that we need. We need those positive emotions because at times we feed negative emotions. I come from a very little set past, and when I met with Stella, I could identify that this is actually one of those things that anybody else can go through that particular path. So yeah, I really thanks. And when I looked at the platform again, I saw Mpumelelo, and then saw cultural diversity and everything else is there. So there's all the ingredients. Yeah. So I'm home. Yeah. Thanks.
Fantastic. Thanks, Master, and welcome home. We appreciate you joining us in our house. So it's great to have you on board. So Tim, good morning to you. Tim, I think first time with us this morning. You've connected with Trevor, I think via LinkedIn, maybe, if I recall correctly. So perhaps just say hi and tell us who you are and your thoughts on what you've heard so far.
It's all. Oh, thank you there. It's all very new to me. But what I do is sales. So I'm one of those people who are born, or I don't know if it's a skill or a talent, but I can literally turn water into wine. I'm good at what I do. So I'm hoping I can actually just come in here and leverage off the shared knowledge that we'll get from everybody here. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I've already identified a few low-hanging fruits between this current organization and my current employer. So interesting times, very exciting times. I think 4IR amplified by the pandemic forces us to come in and pull together on things like this. Yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Great, thanks Tim, fantastic to have you on board. And yeah, you can share some of that wine around, seeing that we've got prohibition here against. So it's a good skill to have in these times. But talking about 4IR, let's pop across to Trevor Kettler. So Trevor, welcome.
Thanks, Ivan. Morning, everybody. So as this is a networking group, I really want to network with Tim and catch up with him. I've got 20,000 liters of water, if I can bring it around to you, and let's talk. So I'm quite excited about today, because if this is going to be anything like the mall that we had, the virtual mall, where every speaker was dynamic, looking at the lineup today, I think we've got a lot of experts here, and we can always learn from them. And, you know, people come from different continents. There's so much more to learn, different ways of doing things. And considering now that we are very much international, we need to learn how others do it to keep that expert status. So I'm really looking forward to it, and nice meeting some of you guys that I haven't met before.
Great, thanks, Trevor, and great to have you on board as well. Right, Peter, let's get across to you. And Peter, by the way, for those of you who don't know, is called Farming by Faith on the screen there at the moment, but that's Peter Brown. So Peter, yeah, so join us. You need to unmute. You muted.
Yeah, I'm unmuted now. I think what's interesting is that life is about interpreting signals. So a lot of people interpreted, Corona as, all hell is breaking loose. Whereas if you had been saying, well, what's the next wave or movement ready? It's like a 100-meter dash, and the gun goes off, and some people think they're being shot at, and other people think that that's the gun to say start running. So it's about interpreting that, and I've been just accelerating. I mean, today one of today's speaker is from the US. She's helping to open up doors in Iowa on agriculture. Master, who's on the call today, I'm meeting him today or tomorrow. I mean, he's got a huge tract of land that's been given to him by government. Fits in ideally with that. Even sometimes things can come from left field. Yesterday, I found a completely unrelated product to farming, but the difference with this network marketing product was that they could show me within one day how to market on Facebook and get a potential sale. So I've got someone placing an order. It's like I only make like 50 Rand, but the difference is I made it in one day. That's ultimately the difference. So it's all about just leveraging a new way of growing and doing business. So that's my feedback. Thanks, everyone.
Great, thanks, Peter, and welcome on board again. So, right, Pepe, good morning to you. I think you perhaps first time with us this morning. Are you there? Are you able to unmute and just introduce yourself and tell us what your thoughts are on what you've heard so far?
Hi, yes, good morning. Thank you very much. I actually have no idea what I am here to hear today, so I am quite excited and interested. Life has changed quite drastically for me over this period. I got the email from Lee, and I thought, well, curiosity got the better of me, and that's why I'm here. I'm a corporate trainer and facilitator, but put that aside about 4 years ago to go back into a full-time position as a medical rep, which is my background. And, despite the healthcare industry being an essential service, they decided that they didn't need my services anymore. So I have now, my contract's been terminated early, and I'm now looking to relaunch myself as an online trainer, because I think that's the way it's going to go in the future. I can't see myself back in a in the workplace, in a classroom running a workshop, which is very, very difficult for me because I'm an outgoing person. I'm a connector. I struggle not to be. I haven't put my picture on because I'm not wearing any makeup this morning. But yeah, thanks for having me here. I hope to learn. I'm also not sure if I'm going to be able to be here all day, but I will do my best. Thank you.
Great, fantastic. Thanks, Pepe. No problem. You pop in as and when you can. As I say, we'll be online the whole day. And Trevor didn't put his makeup on this morning either, so don't worry about that. It's not too serious. Right, Kevin, welcome to you, Kevin. I think you popped in during the virtual trade fair sessions as well, but maybe just a quick hi from yourself and your thoughts on what you've been hearing in the background so far.
Hi everyone. Sorry, I'm low level flying. I'm sitting in my dressing gown since 4 o'clock this morning and up to my gills in work. So I'm just listening in the background. I just finished a massive tender for one of the large banks, and I'm behind with about 2 weeks of work. So you'll excuse me if I'm not too with the program. And I'm also not wearing makeup either. So yeah. But I'm just interested to hear what everyone's got to say and put it into the mix of what we're learning through the wisdom lot and the geek club and everything else. And yeah, thank you to everybody who's going to be contributing, and I look forward to being able to contribute sometime in the future. Thanks.
Great, thanks, Kevin, and welcome. I'm glad you can be here, even though you are busy, and I'm glad you're busy, which is great. So being busy and having work on your plate is fantastic. So I'm really, very pleased that that is the case for you. So Jean, good morning to you. So Jean and I connected just recently this week, but also came through one of these Zoom meeting type connections through the virtual trade fair through the UK and back to South Africa. So Jean, welcome on board. John, are you with us? You need to unmute your mic if you are. Okay, looks like John might not be able to unmute at the moment, or perhaps just temporarily away. So Dawn, let's pop across to you.
Hi everybody. With my
You're definitely having a problem with your connectivity.
Using my hotspot on my phone, so hopefully we can. For Lee to have and the team for the video, it might be better. Is that better?
Yeah.
Am I winning? Hello? Can you hear me now? Okay, so quickly, hopefully it will stay on board. So just good luck to the team and wisdom with your summit. And I know it's going to be awesome. I mean, being a member of the chamber has just opened up doors for us, because it's not about being alone. It's working in a team. And that's how we can create the success. You know, as Doyle said, you can't climb Mount Everest on your own. You need a team. So being together as a team, for us with the virtual trade fair was phenomenal, and the Wisdom Summit's going to be awesome. Hope to be on board the whole day. I can't promise anything though. Good luck with it. Bye.
Great, thanks Dawn. And yeah, your sound was much better once you turned your video off, because you were definitely sounding a little bit underwater to start off with, even though you're local. So, but great to have you on board. Right, Pat Armistead. Pat, welcome. Good morning. I think your first time with us this morning as well. So perhaps if you'd like to, just say hi and your thoughts on what you've heard so far.
Hello, I've only just joined in, and I actually came specifically to hear Sally Anderson. So I'm a colleague and friend of hers, and just love the initiative. There's just so much really good work and outreach happening at the moment. It's just heartening to see.
Great, thanks, Pat. And you're from New Zealand as well, are you?
I'm in Australia now, though.
Are you in Australia now? Okay, fantastic. Well, welcome. Thanks for being on board. And I see, as you were talking about it, Sally joined us. So welcome, Sally. Good morning. And I think as you stand at the moment, you the one person I haven't connected with on the session this morning so far. So perhaps if you just like to unmute and say hi. We're looking forward to our session with you as well this morning. But thanks for joining us all the way from New Zealand. Really appreciate it. You just need to unmute yourself, Sally. You muted.
I'm very conscious of what it takes to pull off an event like this. So I just want to acknowledge all of your people who are working in behind the scenes to actually bring this summit together today, and also want to acknowledge you for the opportunity to speak.
Fantastic. Thanks, Sally. And yeah, as I say, we're really looking forward to all our speakers today, and it's going to be a fantastic day of conversations and discussions and insights and wisdom. So All good, all on board, and great way to start the morning. So Lee, let's switch back over to you and to set up the rest of the day.
Don't you love being pounced on when you haven't got a thought in your mind and you now have to come up with some great wisdom? This is teamwork at its best. And I do have a team member who wants to say something. So while I'm gathering my thoughts, Trevor can say something.
I'd just like to acknowledge Sally for acknowledging me for all of my hard work in the background behind this entire event. Sally, this is all my hard work. If you can see, I know how to twiddle the knobs and make everything work here. If it collapses, it's Ivan's fault. But welcome on board. And I'm so sorry that Pat has to be in Australia at this time. You must have been caught there by the lockdown, Pat. Is that right? You'd prefer to be in New Zealand, I'm sure.
Well, it's only one of the states that's in lockdown really at the moment. So I'm not in that state. I'm in Queensland, sunny Queensland.
All right, but listen, you know, I was just sitting listening to everyone and their inputs, and what I love about this is that it was off the cuff, and that the day is off the cuff, and the quality of speakers. And Sally, no pressure on you to kickstart this event just now. The quality of speakers that just stood up and said, you know what, stuff it. While everyone else is talking doom and gloom, let's get on board this blooming thing and see what happens. And you know what I want to tell you, when people do this, it actually builds a sense of camaraderie and commitment, and these are the quality of people that you actually now want to start building relationships with and moving forward. So I'm excited about just the inputs and the expectations that people have come up with and said, man, I don't know what to expect, but I'm here because I'm curious and I want to do things. Believe me, these are the quality of people that you're going to build relationships with in building a positive society going forward. I think the world has changed. Most people don't know it yet. These people in this group, I think, know it and are looking for the way that we're actually going to make hay out of this opportunity. Lee, have you thought of some wise words?
You know, wise, I'm not so sure. But what I do want to highlight is that, you know, people have mentioned teamwork and seeing it work together. And, you know, Trevor introduced me and he's very, very good about saying, you know, to appreciating what I do, appreciating what Ivan does. We have been working together as a team for, is it 10 years, 5, 8, 9? I don't know, we start losing track after a while. But you can tell, just those of you who haven't met us before, 3 very different people, different styles, different ways of working, and we all work individually and separately, and yet when we come together, there is this, we've come to call it bottled lightning, where something electric happens that's unexpected, and it's an idea that sparks something more that grows, and then this person says, okay, I can do this. So Trevor, you know, he said, let me speak to the speakers, and he drew a very incredible group of people together from literally all over the world. And as Caroline said at the beginning, we're coming together to have conversations about where to next. Where are we going? What's happening in your life? What's happening in your thinking? What's happening in your business? How are you managing in COVID times? How are you seeing the way ahead? These are actually conversations that we're probably having with ourselves. So why not put them on a public forum so that we can share, learn, grow from each other, from the speakers. And so, you know, Trevor brought the speakers together. Ivan is absolutely phenomenal when it comes to putting all the systems and processes and the background, all the technology together. But he's a whole lot more than the tech nerd. You know, I don't know where he's sitting on your screen. He's in my top left-hand screen. I feel like he's the master, you know, the person who's literally moving the pieces around the board. and as who was, you know, he's got this incredibly calm way of making sure everybody has a say. And so this is teamwork, and I think that's really. I can't remember who it was saying that if we're going to multiply what we do, if we're going to take opportunities in our hands, we can't do it on our own. First of all, the struggles, the difficulties, the hurdles that we're facing are just too big for us to face on our own. And second of all, the dreams, the goals, the ambitions are also too great for us to think that it's something that we can do on our own. And then lastly, we just don't have enough strengths and in ourselves. We're a mixture of strengths and weaknesses, and we need other people to be able to pick us up when we're down, or to compensate for an area where we're not good at. So the big picture thinking and the drive and the belief, you know, Trevor's so good at that. And every now and again, I get lost in the detail. I get bogged down in what it is that we have to do. And either Ivan or Trevor will say, keep it simple, Lee, keep it simple. And I need those voices around me to be able to keep me on track, or to give me a whack across the head every now and again. Yeah, so I'm also, Sally, we haven't met. So this is my first opportunity of saying hi. We've done a little bit of the email. So I'm really looking forward to hearing. Doyle, we haven't met, so also great. I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit more from you. Ben, you and I had a great conversation. And after that conversation, I said to Trevor, listen, we've got to get this guy on board. Trevor said, what's culture got to do with anything? So you have to, I'm giving some home truths away. So you've got to now convince Trevor that culture is vital in these times, and that it's how the future of the universe is at stake. So that's going to be so important. And then Mpumelelo is somebody that I have learned to appreciate and respect. And I mean, talk about wisdom. When in Wisdom's chats, when Mpumelelo speaks, everybody else is just quiet, because we know that this man has done some thinking, he's done some processing, he's willing to share his heart and be vulnerable, but it's always from a place of such deep thought. And one of the wonderful things that we have done in Wisdom's chats is we've actually created opportunities for people to share their life stories. So besides having these sort of positive conversations that flow from one to the other, we've also just taken the chance, and for me it's like sitting around the fire, you know, and as we're sitting around the fire, and you know, we talk here and we talk here, and then every now and again, I'm sure you've been, if any of you have had that time of being out in the bush or at a camp, and there comes a moment where all the chitter chatter kind of quietens down, and and somebody starts telling a story, and that's what it's like. And Mpumelela's had an opportunity, and we've had the opportunity to listen to her story, and how inspiring and truly amazing person to. So thank you, Mpumelelo. We've listened to Edward's story, and that, I mean, this is a man who just talk about taking opportunities at the drop of a hat. He goes off to Romania, or he goes off to this place, and what he's achieved in his life, it just, you just, again, it's just an example of, you see, we all look as if we have ordinary lives, and yet when the minute you scratch the surface, there's this extraordinary story that's sitting right there. So that's been absolutely amazing. So that's just by way of introducing the people who are already sitting around here that I've connected with, and that we're going to be hearing more from in the course of the day. And I hand over to Ivan now to begin the process of, because I know Sally's going to be on board in a few minutes.
Great, thanks Leah. And